Back at Snappy Tomato Pizza, we're going to talk to UT Martin Equestrian, and they are getting ready to compete. We have the coach, Megan Cunningham-Corvin, on with us. Megan, what year is this for you now?
I've been here since 2005.
2005? So that's, help me, 8 years, 9 years? That's a lot. It
Yep.
doesn't seem like it's been that long.
Yeah, first year was transition to the NCAA, so.
Now, when you got here, there was nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. You built the program from scratch.
Yep.
What were your goals when you first got here?
Gosh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
I think first and foremost to get the athletes here, and we certainly have done that. And then each year we do a little bit more facility-wise, getting the program up and going to the next level.
Yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day, was it?
I have to tell myself that sometimes.
Now, let me say this about your squad. Right now, you are preseason ranked. You're ranked number 10. So you took a program that was nothing, that was not even in existence, and now you're a top 10 team nationally. Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Last year we defeated Kansas State in our first round championship, and when you consider that you're competing against a Big 12 team with probably an extra zero in their budget, and twice if not three times the amount of athletes on their team, depth of roster, our athletes do a wonderful job.
Yeah. What do you know about Kansas State?
I worked there for
That's
4
right.
years.
That's right. But so you came when you were at Kansas State before you came here.
Yes, for 4 years.
Which Kansas State, as you just kind of alluded to, is a top-notch program.
Sure, absolutely. And for us to be competitive with them is certainly an accomplishment and says a lot about our program.
We probably have a lot of people listening now that they don't know a whole lot about equestrian, the sport. They don't know a lot about our team. So let's just get real basic here. And I may know a little bit more than a lot of people, but I know hardly anything. First of all, how did you get involved in the sport?
I've been riding since I was 5 years old. I asked my parents for riding lessons for my 5th birthday, and I think they probably regret that because I never looked back. And just
Where'd you grow up?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
Just north of the city. And then went to school at Virginia Tech. And from there went to Kansas State to work on my graduate work and worked as an assistant coach there for 4 years.
Explain the sport to us very basically.
Okay. There are two disciplines, hunt seat, which is a different type of saddle where you see people jumping, and then western, and that's the saddle with the horn on it.
Okay.
We have 4 events, hunter seat equitation on the flat, where our riders perform a predetermined test, hunter seat equitation over fences, where they jump fences, western reining, that's where the horses sit and spin and slide,
Wow.
and western horsemanship, which is a predetermined pattern in the western saddle. 5 athletes in each event. They compete against the other school. You ride the hosting school horses, so there is a huge home field advantage, and it's a judged sport. Your goal is to outride the other team on the horse that you are riding.
Gotcha.
And then you receive a higher score from the judge. That point goes to UT Martin.
Gotcha.
So
You explained it very well. How many horses do we have here?
25.
Really?
25. Our horses.
Can you name them all?
I could probably, but might forget one or two.
Okay, we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
They are all donated. I think that's one of the neat things about our sport. Our horses are donated. We have a lot of opportunity for new donors for athletics that might not have otherwise been involved in collegiate athletics. So those horses are donated. We have a great bunch of horses that have had some substantial winnings, show careers, and they're retiring to UT Martin for another life.
How old are most of them then?
Generally in their teens. We have a few young ones and a few older ones. So
They have a pretty good life out there?
they live a good life.
Yeah. They're out kind of behind it would be north of the Greenway?
Yeah, between Hinesville and the Ag Pavilion.
When I drive by there, this is going to show my lack of knowledge. Sometimes they're like wearing the coats.
Yes.
What are they actually called? What are they?
They're blankets.
Blankets. So when do they wear the blankets?
We generally have a temperature of about 55 degrees. Below 55, we put blankets on, maybe 50, and then over 50, take them off. And that's just so that their hair doesn't get long, and then when we ride them, they don't get as hot and sweaty, so it's less maintenance. Just like us, you can't get too hot
Right.
and then be thrown out in the cold and catch a chill. They get sick just like you and I would.
Who takes care of the horses?
Our assistant coach oversees the horse herd, Ashley Thompson, and then we have 3 to 4 barn student workers that that actually feed.
That's full-time work.
It is, and we also they're also incorporated in the Department of Ag, the pre-vet and the vet tech, so they're used with the classes a lot. So a lot of the students get the hands-on experience from the horses through the Department of Ag as well.
When you are competing at home, where do you compete?
At the Ag Pavilion.
Which is how does that facility compare to the other facilities you go
It's
to?
absolutely the best in the country. We've gone to the SEC schools and rode in pouring down rain comparable to Friday afternoon, and gone to some Big 12 schools in Texas and rode when it was freezing cold. And you come to the Ag Pavilion, it's warm, it's dry, good footing. Definitely a lot of people want to come to us in the winter.
Yeah. So. How about the equestrian team? How many members do you have?
We're currently at 24.
24?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. That's a lot. How do they find you, or how do you find them?
For the most part, our athletes seek us out. We receive probably about 400 to 500 questionnaires a year.
Really?
There's 24 NCAA equestrian schools in the country, so at this point our athletes are seeking us out. And they submit videos and resumes, and then we begin the recruitment process. We do recruit regionally, but for the most part we're getting sought out because of the program.
To be good, I mean, that's key to knowing what kind of talent to bring in here, but it's based more on their abilities and also on personalities and so many dedication, ambition.
Well, I'm sure it's like any other sport. You can do a whole lot with talent, but you can do a lot. You can teach with a good personality, and we've really gotten to the point where our athletes are a cohesive group, and I think that's where our success comes from. Yes, we have good talent, but the key to working together is what has made us really successful.
What's our breakdown? You don't have to give it exact, but freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors?
We are heavy on the bottom.
Okay.
We're very young. We're only graduating off 2 seniors this year, so maybe 5 to 6 juniors, and the rest are newbies.
Wow. Where are some of them from? You don't have to be very specific on all of them, but where from far away?
The majority of our student athletes are not from the state of Tennessee. We have them as far away as Washington, California, Florida.
That's a little ways off.
To the northeast, yep.
Yeah. So will they get to go? Who do you have here with us?
This is my daughter, Molly.
Hi, Molly. Molly's wearing a Dora the Explorer shirt right there. How old is she?
She just turned 4 last Saturday.
Yeah, I remember when she was born. Does she like the horses?
Loves them.
Yeah. Is she riding yet? Not yet. You were 5.
I know. I don't know that my heart can take it. I think in the spring we might let her start riding a little bit. Miss Vicki Higgs has a pony, Thunder the Wonder Pony, and that's Molly's.
Yeah, that'll work. Now, I'm looking at your schedule. Now, what's really impressive to me is that as we look at the top 10 teams in the country, you're playing at Auburn, or competing at Auburn, and they're number 2. You got Kansas State on the schedule, they're 5th. You got Georgia on the schedule here. Right now they're number 1, is that right?
That is correct.
And the number 1 team in the country is coming to the Ag Pavilion, and you're going to host them. And then you got South Carolina, who's ranked 3rd. This is a nice schedule.
Yeah.
Difficult?
Very much so, but we've put some competition in there that we can definitely be competitive with and have a successful record. I'm sure, like other coaches, we're only as good as the people we compete against, so we got to get better.
Now, you have said that the host school provides the horses, so that gives you an advantage.
Yes.
How big of an advantage?
It should be a huge advantage, but I would say that our athletes, in my opinion, ride better away just because there's no expectations, no preconceived notions, and that's just generally something that I've seen our girls do.
Horses have personalities just like people do.
Absolutely.
How long does the athlete get to how much time do you spend with that horse before you're competing with that horse?
They have 4 minutes to warm up.
4 minutes?
Yes. Yes.
It's like speed dating.
Hope it goes good.
That's right.
They have 4 minutes to warm up their horse, kind of get acquainted. We always talk about it's not the opportunity to fix your horse, but it's the opportunity to figure out how your horse wants to be ridden.
I think adaptability is key there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
4 minutes. What can you learn in 4 minutes?
What not to do.
Yeah, no, honestly. The process of elimination.
Yeah, some horses are very sensitive. They don't like to be overridden, and you'll figure that out real quick.
Can you scout?
You can, but when I say our girls generally ride better away, it's just because when you put people and music in the Ag Pavilion, our horses act different too.
Yeah.
You know, they get their game day nerves as well. and that's a little bit different than what the athletes are used to practicing on day in and day out.
How do you do, and we're going to make a plea to make it better, how do you do with the spectators at your events?
We love to have them, but we generally have to remind them that stay back off of the rail. We do encourage a lot of clapping and cheering for our athletes, but it needs to be, done within reason.
So it's more like a golf and tennis. You need to have some manners and etiquette.
Somewhat.
Because equestrian now, I don't know what the history of equestrian is. I'm sure you can tell me, but it seems to be very sophisticated, and there's a lot of longevity involved with equestrian. Am I correct?
Yes.
Could you give us a brief history lesson?
It came to the United States from the Englishmen, just, the love for fox hunting. In the non-collegiate world, it's a very stuffy world, and numbers on the back and very hush-hush. Somewhat of an elitist, unfortunately. We have really tried to make our sport, collegiate sport, fan-friendly, fit the collegiate model with the cheering, the clapping, the sports colors. There is a traditional uniform, and we've taken the blue and orange and added that.
Oh, yeah.
To just somewhat stay with the traditional aspect of the sport, but as well throw the collegiate.
Can our student athletes continue in the sport even after they graduate?
Absolutely. Our athletes are here to get an education. In order to go professional in the sport of equestrian, you don't have to come through the collegiate world. But most of the girls here are getting a college education, and then will continue on. It's a lifetime sport.
And where will they compete after UT Martin?
Just regionally or nationally, depending upon where they end up in the United States.
When does equestrian get covered on the big spotlight on TV? How can we watch it on television?
Well, obviously the Rolex. That's a little bit different than what we do. Occasionally you can catch on ESPN the show jumping, which is very similar to what we do. And then certainly at the Olympics.
How high are the fences that the horses jump?
At our competition, about 3 foot, 3'3". At our final round national championship, 3'6".
When I watch it on television, I always hold my breath.
Yes. The horse is really a truly amazing athlete when you consider how large those fences are on television.
How do you, in the beginning, train them to do that?
You just trot up to it, keep your leg on them, and they'll get the hang of it. A lot of them love it.
Some horses are more athletic than others?
Yes. Well, some of them are just bred to do different things.
Yeah.
So,
can you look at a horse and tell?
Somewhat, based upon their angles, shoulder angles, and the way they're put together, yes. Whether they'll have good form or not.
I've learned a lot. You've done about really. Okay, your first home event will be November the 8th, but coming up on September 27th, you're going to Baylor, which is in Texas.
Sure. And
you'll compete on the 27th and 28th. We wish you the best of luck. We're running out of time. I was going to ask you more questions, but good luck at Baylor.
Okay.
Any thoughts on that coming up?
We've got 4 competitions this coming weekend. We finish up at Southern Methodist University. It'll be a big weekend for us, and we need to get a jump start on our record.
Then at Auburn on the 19th of October, the November 8th, 9th, and the 15th, and the 24th, and January 25th, January 24th, March 7th at home. I encourage you to go to utmsports.com on the World Wide Web. Thank you, Megan. Fantastic job. I really enjoyed it. We have football on the radio Saturday. Don't forget, UT Martin takes on Southeast Missouri in Cape Girardeau. That's a 6 o'clock kickoff. We go on the air at 5:30 from Cape. I'll be alongside Tom Britt. John Abel as our sideline reporter. And special thanks to Jason Simpson, also Megan Cunningham for joining us. And a reminder, go to utmsports.com on the web for all the information. And thanks to Frank and the gang, always showing us the hospitality at Snappy Tomato Pizza. I'm Chris Brinkley. Stay with us on the flagship station, Mix 101.3. The Big Orange Hotline coming up next. They'll talk about that Vol loss to Florida back on Saturday next.
Alexander Thompson Arnold CPAs, where your success is their mission. Your sports leader, Mix 101.3 WCMT FM, South Fulton Martin. The following is a presentation of